pay for it. They're the ones that put these kids on the bus every morning and wave by. And they're used to seatbelts. It's nothing new to them. From the time they come home from the hospital, they've been in a seatbelt. Till they get to 6 years old and you wave at the big yellow bus and say, y'all be careful for the next 12 years, okay? It's time, it's time. It's way to pay for it. Whether you're for or against it, all I'm asking, let the people at home decide. Do it for the kids. I'll take questions.
It's for the children.
Representative Gates, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Representative McRoy, currently school boards have the ability to purchase now. What I read this is a more of a process that the people can petition and the proper way to go about it with the uniformity from district to district. Am I correct?
Yes, sir, they can do that now, but you know, with this disagreement that we have, if a superintendent does that, he's kind of holding himself up to say some people in the district might say, I don't want my kids wearing seatbelts. And you know, so it really gives them some cover. They can do it now, but in a smaller district, it's mostly about the money, I'm thinking. But did that answer your question? Thank you.
Yeah, follow up if I may one.
You may.
Oftentimes when we're talking about spending money, it's that accountability of is it justified or is it not justified. If that school board then decides to put this on before the people, ultimately the people would be deciding at what rate they're going to be taxed rather than that school board deciding for their district, which I think is you know, part of what makes America great is when people are able to tax for themselves. Was that pretty much the basis of this legislation?
Exactly, that was what I was aiming at. You know, it's always been, you know, this is not the first time that seatbelts come up. It wasn't my first idea. So it's been voted down before, and it always comes back to how to fund it and a fair way to fund it. And the only fair way to do it is let people decide at home. And I can see this was instituted by young people. I was raised up without seatbelts. I'd ride in the back of the car there on the dash like a bobbing dog, you know. And we don't know about it, but they're used to it. I had a new niece. My niece had a new baby the other day. You know, they forgot their car seat when they went to the hospital. They was in a hurry. They would not let them leave till they drove 100 miles to come back. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm moving around.
Representative Meek, you're recognized for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The one question I have is the way this bill is written. I think according to your testimony, the average extra cost on a bus is roughly $8,000. There's a lot of school districts in our state that, and yes, $8,000 is a large sum of money, but that's something that could be absorbed within their budget where they wouldn't need the millage. There's a lot of schools that have a lot of carryover funds that are sitting idle right now that could potentially be used for this. So I guess my question or my concern is, should this petition be filed and the petition force the school district to go down this route of equipping their buses, does the school have the option of saying, okay, we've got the extra $8,000 in our budget, or is the school now going to be forced to, we have to go out and do a tax increase to raise this $8,000 even though we may already could absorb the $8,000 within our budget?
Well, they can do that now, Representative Meeks. And some have. You know, I didn't realize there's so many. I know over in Garland County, I guess, one of the school districts over there is already doing it. So they can do that now. They have the ability. And I didn't want, and I know I've got some superintendents with me and some of them against me. You know, they're mad about it, and I understand. They don't want people getting in their business, and I tried not to get in it any deeper than I could. It doesn't preclude them from doing whatever they want if they want to go on and do it now. But it would enable the small communities to do that. And even maybe the superintendent's really not big on seatbelts, but maybe let the people decide in that district that are paying his salary and paying the taxes, let them decide if they want one on their kids. You know, my kids don't ride the school bus. They're all old now, and I would imagine not many of your kids ride the school bus. maybe your grandkids, but at one time or another, they're gonna go on a field trip, you know, even if they don't ride the bus. But I hope I've answered your question. I'm kind of rambling around.
So yes, they would be required to propose a tax increase if the petition's signed. The school wouldn't have the option of just absorbing it within their budget under this proposal.
No, they would have that option. It's not written where they can't go and do it. And some of them might go on and do it when they get the petition. I would think a lot of the superintendents, when they saw that the petition came forward, they said, well, I can absorb this. You know, I didn't know, you know, I think it's, sometimes they're scared to do it because it's not a cut and dry thing. I know you've had calls that some of them are for and some of them are against, and you know how our politicians are. Some of us are for it and some of us against it, and I'm always for my friends. So.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Representative Duffy, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Representative McElroy. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Representative McElroy, you had alluded to some of the buses that are too old to put seat belts on. Now, what would you do with it? What would you do in that situation? Let's say your school district, votes in the millage, and what do you do about those buses that can't, can't use seat belts on? What's going to happen there?
Actually, this bill just from the new buses coming in, it really doesn't preclude them from putting seat belts on there, because I didn't want to get into the superintendent's business that deep. But from a financial standpoint, you couldn't start, because there's so many older buses there, and some of them they say are not structurally designed for seat belts. So, and this is a bad thing about that. If we start today, if you give the go-ahead today, average life of a school bus is about 15 years to 20. So if you start today, it could take 15 or 20 years if the petition started tomorrow. I'll be 81 years old. I'll still be good looking, but I'll be old at that time. But I leave that where it doesn't preclude if a school district wants to do that. I think it gives them cover. Here's the main thrust. I'm not trying to make anybody do anything. If you never remember anything I said, it don't make anybody do anything. What it does, it lets the local people have this discussion and have that opportunity, because it happened in Arkansas where some children got killed, and they never talk about all the ones that get injured on the bus, just the ones that get killed. But it will happen again. It's going to happen in Arkansas. And you know, I rolled out this bill the 1st of November, and 10 days later it happened in Chattanooga. And the sad part is, if I had run that bill that week, it'd been 100%. But it's sad, but if children don't get killed in 90 days, and they say, well, I don't know if we need seat belts or not. You know, that's sad. But we got this knee-jerk reaction. But it's going to happen again. And I ran this bill because I don't want it on my conscience that I didn't give the people back in my hometown at least an option whether they wanted to, if they feel safer with seat belts, if they feel like paying for it and they would feel safer, then that takes a load off me. And I would think it would take the load off a superintendent, because I can't imagine being a superintendent, have to make a long ride to somebody's house and say, your child got killed in a rollover accident in a school bus. Because when children die, and I had some of them say, well, what if they sue us because we didn't put seatbelts on all of them? Trust me, when a child dies on a school bus or gets severely injured, it don't matter if you got seatbelts or no seatbelts. Mr. Walker, you can testify to that. There will be a lawsuit, won't there? If children get, it's just the way it is. I'm being honest with you. But I'm thinking, if you're on a jury, and I'm on a jury, and they say, well, they started putting seatbelts on school buses, but they didn't put them on that particular one. They're trying. Another thing, schools are under tort immunity, just like the state are. So, you know, they're kind of protected by that.
All right, I have 3 more set up for